Hello, hello, and welcome back to Let's Supreme Ghost Thief. We are going to play Ruins of Originia, Mission 4 Ashes to Ashes, but before that we're going to make a couple of pit stops to previous missions. One is from Night 3 of the Seven Sisters, the last video I uploaded, because as some of you noticed, I forgot to take or retake the rope arrow that I used to make my way into the caged spiders. So that should be a very quick fix because it's at the very, very end of the mission. And hopefully we don't run into those spiders. Yeah, here it is. There we go. And somebody else pointed out that you could actually hit this.
Garrett, lives you still?
That's cool, I didn't know that. If you hit it, he gives a remark. Can we hit him again? No, that's it. Okay, well that's kind of cool. I didn't know that. But now we took the only rope arrow we had, and then we can finally leave and end the mission. Because then, since this mission was Perfect Supreme Ghostable now, due to the new ruling, I kind of want to achieve that. Here we are. When I make a mistake, I'm happy that you guys pointed out, and this was kind of the best mistake I could have made, because it was at the very end and I had a save right before. Let's get the black diamond and get that objective completed as well. So even something small like this, I wouldn't have done this if the mission couldn't have been Supreme Ghosted. But I do this if it can improve the success of any particular mode. There we are. Let's say hi to Basso and Genevieve again.
Garrett, finally you're back.
Garrett!
Tell us.
Tell you, didn't you watch my last video? You should see it and find out what happened. Alright, so there we are. That is then a successful Perfect Supreme of Night 3. So, we have one more stop to make, so I'll see you on in the next video we're going to revisit. And that is A Night in Rocksbourg Mission 2, Discovery. That is a long time ago I played on my channel. That would probably be back in 2015 or something like that. I didn't check the date for that, but that doesn't sound too wrong. Spambot Fodder, I think it was, showed me or reminded me that I could use a similar method to what I did in A Better Tomorrow. If you remember, in A Better Tomorrow, I failed the ghost on my first playthrough, and then I went back and used the method of dropping a flare mid-air and sort of sliding on it down into the water so that it didn't alert a nearby beast. We can do the same thing in this mission to achieve Perfect Thief. So, if you remember, in my playthrough of that mission, I prioritized Supreme, so I skipped quite a bit of loot. I think over 1,000 or something like that. But for regular ghosts, I said that there was only one area where you had to skip loot, and that was 4 or 5 rather coin pairs in a well. So I have never been able to achieve Perfect Thief before for this mission. I've only ever been able to get Ghost and 100 loot less than the total. but I'm going to go back now and just redo the last part from this save here. Now we're in the sewers, where we actually end the mission. Isn't that it? Yeah, we go through here, right? So I'm not going to go through there. I'm going to go back and take that loot. Because I always thought that you had to... alert the nearby stationary archer. But you don't actually have to do that. Because you can use flares. Now, the problem is there's only one place in the mission where there are flares available. And that is in Artemis's... It's in Artemis's room. Need Artemis's key, which I don't have because when I did this playthrough, this wasn't the one I recorded. See, I have 5728, which is 100 less loot. This is actually my... I think we need to go down here. This is my ghost run. I do a separate ghost run from a Supreme run, usually. I have not taken, I've kept the Supreme as much as I can, but I've taken max loot. That's what I prioritize for my ghost run. So here we have to use the tunnel 13 key. This is not locked. Now we get into the inn. Remember, this is the safe part of town, so people give settling remarks, but those are not busts, steady mode. So we have to go pick up Artemis's key right now. Which is where's the exit? Where's the exit? Here it is. Nice to revisit this mission. I haven't played it since I recorded it. Those are the settling remarks that we don't worry about. Go in here. This key we need because the flares are only found, at least that I know of, are only found in one location. We need that key to get to that location. So this was the only save that I had that really worked for this method, so decided that we'd do it for that. So I think Artemis's room is here.
Okay.
Yeah. So in this footlocker, you get 5 water arrows, you get 8 flares, 2 flash bombs, a mine, and a compass. I didn't need any of those things in my last playthrough, so I didn't even go in here and open this. But we need the flares. So that we can do right now. Now, for Supreme, I'm just going to test something here. that one mine. Good. Okay, we can return that. But I don't want to arm it. What is that? I thought we were just leaving it there. See, can we disarm it now? Good. Now we've returned it and it's disarmed. So I want to keep this as supreme as possible. What happens when we open this now? Okay, nothing happens. That's weird. Okay. Okay. So I want to come back, and then I want to return those flares, and I want to return his key as well. I just wanted to check if we even could return that mine, which we could. We can't obviously return the flash bomb. And we cannot return water arrows in the compass. But that's okay. Now, to get to that well that I'm speaking of,
I won't say it again, miscreants. Get lost if you want to keep your head.
that is the guy that we want to follow him, so to speak, that lantern guard. Yeah, I think we have to actually wait here. I think this is the only place we can't wait. Yeah, good. Give it a save there. Then we want to sneak out. Right? Yeah.
I won't say it again, miscreant.
And now we get to the well where the loot is.
These people didn't have a chance against the Mechanist.
What we want to do now is we want to drop. I usually drop just all of the flares. I'm going to drop them in the corner, or close to the corner, and then... Okay, that we can't do. We want to... So there we got a first alert, but that's not... We can do a lot better than that. Okay, we don't have to get a first alert here. I want to make sure I don't, because this is possible to do for Supreme. So I want to show that this method can be done for that. Get 100 more loot for that mode too. There, we did not get a first alert there. There, we took the 5. That's full loot. Now he comes back. Okay, I was way early. Alright, well then we're gonna have to wait him out. Surface for air a little bit. Let's wait for him to come back here. I think I can stay here safely.
I won't say it again, miscreants.
There we go. So that was 57-28. Isn't that the 58-28? Yeah, I had 57-28 before. So since you can't only pick up a few flares, I just bring them all along and use that method. I spent more attempts now than I did when I tested it the first time. Oh, I should have... Come on, I should have locked the door to Artemis so I can just return his key now, because I have to go back again the third time to the end. Floor planning. Did lock this door, but I didn't. Lock
I guess it was nothing.
Then we can drop all the flares there. We're good to go. So it's nice if I have the opportunity to go back and fix, at least as famous of a mission as this, to be able to get Perfect Thief. It's awesome.
Gee, I must have imagined it.
There. Then we can finally go back to the sewers and end the mission and actually claim the Perfect Thief. This is still one of my all-time favorite campaigns, by the way. Now there is a Rocksbourg Origins and Rocksbourg 4. I think Origins is supposed to be a 2-mission campaign that have been in the works basically since this mission here, or actually since Rocksbourg 3 was released. So whether we're ever going to see those missions, I kind of doubt it. I kind of threw out a hope or an idea on the forums that maybe what DRK made of those missions, because I know that Origins was very close to being released. Maybe those have been able to be incorporated into the Black Parade or something like that, so that we, at least at one time, will be able to see them. know that Dr. K is involved in the Black Parade campaign. Come on, keep getting stuck in of all the things that can happen. Oh, he heard me clanging on that. Then we can finally finish the mission. Good, so that is my claim for Perfect Thief for Rocksbourg 2 Discovery. Let's move on to Ruins of Originia, Ashes to Ashes, shall we? There, so now we can load up the end of Fire and Ice, right? Just check audio here and video. Seems good, so that should be it. Yep, and then we can watch the briefing from Mission 4.
I have been hiding out in a gypsy village near Margroth for so long now, I'm getting restless. I'm still waiting to hear what the Hammerites thought of my prices for those recovered artifacts. But since I had a private courier travel around Margroth, it could take weeks. I have been reading some of those books I acquired from Bantar. One of them talks about a place that sparks my interest. According to the book, there are some ruins only a few days' travel toward the southeast. The book talks about a series of caverns located below the flat plains. Inside these caverns are the ruins known as the Museum of the Ancients. When I asked about the area, the gypsy informed me that 7 years ago a piece of the sky fell to the ground at that location. It caused a huge crater and filled the sky with dust for months. The crater itself is filled with a strange black smoke. The gypsy woman warned me that the place is cursed. Maybe this will be my only time to check it out, because I never want to come to this place again.
So, on Expert, it says, somewhere in the crater are the ruins of the museum. Find them. Once you locate the ruins, find a way inside. Don't lose the Gem of Aldorf, that objective we've had since Mission 2, basically. Gather at least 7,500 worth of loot. That's going to be a difficult assignment for us to do. Climb out of the crater when done. Make sure you don't kill any humans. After all, you are the master thief. So this is probably the most difficult mission in terms of busts, because we have to take... I've been able to get it down to 3 ghost busts. But we shouldn't have to bust to any humans. We do have to deal some property damage and you know, alert some beasts, but not any human enemies. So that's going to be one of them. That's to me, kind of the worst busts to take for Ghost. But there's a lot of very tricky situations in this mission. And the museum is very uniquely laid out and kind of cool, a little bit tedious, but we're going to eliminate a little bit of that tediousness, which I'll point out a little bit early. But yeah, this is an interesting mission. It's not the best in the campaign. I think Mission 1 stands out as clearly the best one. But this is probably on par with Mission 2, I would say. So yeah, let's get right to it. So we actually start, for some reason, the cache doubles from what we had at the end of Mission 3. And that loot was accumulated from all the first 3 missions. So we have 34,000 in loot here, which basically means that we can buy every single object in the store. And there's actually more than what you see here. We are going to actually buy a few items because this mission cannot be Supreme Ghosted or regular Ghosted. I know it's a bust for Supreme, but even for Supreme I would buy a few items here because they will lead to very severe busts if we don't. So we're going to buy actually 2 speed potions. And now you can see when I bought that and that got removed, there's more items that pop up here. So there's actually a few more too. We're going to buy 2 slow fall potions. And we're going to buy 2 flares. We're going to need all of those. So let's see, if we buy 1 more, then a frog beast egg pops up. And then broadhead arrows pop up. Water arrows pop up. And then that's it. So I'm not going to buy those, of course, but just wanted to show you what actually is accessible here. I don't think I've seen that much available in the loadout screen before. So yeah, that's a Supreme bust. It's not a Ghost bust, and we're going to need those. We have Hand of the Ancient. This is the actual mummified remains of the Ancient One's hand, and we have the Book of Darkness. This evil trickster book of magic must be destroyed. See, that's interesting because that's not one of the objectives now. It will be, but it's not yet. But I think it's interesting that it actually states that on the item before you start the mission. We only have 1 rope arrow. We are probably not even going to need rope arrows, if I remember correctly. Maybe, but at most 1. So we're going to obviously bring that along with us. We can't get rid of it, so. But you don't need to buy any more. Okay, so there might be a little bit of slowdown here because there are areas in this mission that are heavily fogged. But it's not normal fog. It's just in local areas, and it slows down a little bit there. We start then at the top of a crater. This is the crater here. So we are on the side of this crater next to the top of the volcano. So we are going to end up leaving that way. But there are some ruins that are sticking out at certain points that you can actually use to descend. We need to get to the bottom here first. There's a thick cloud of black smoke. It's not really black, but it's supposed to be that. So we need to get down here and let's see. This is where we climb back up later. Let's see. I think that we can drop straight down. Yeah, we can drop straight down onto that. There's a vine here. Down at the bottom of the crater there are some new enemies, some invisible shadow beasts. Okay, we have to make an actual jump here, I think. If we do that, we can catch that vine. If I can just actually jump here. That should be good. Yeah, there we go. So there you can see maybe. Occasionally in certain lights you can see them, but they are normally invisible. If you use a gem of Oldorf and leave that somewhere, that lights them up. And they all walk this direction. So if we go that direction, we should not get spotted. This is a hole that is plugged with a couple of boulders. We cannot blow those up, and we don't need to go in there now anyway. There's another hole in the mountain on this side coming up that we need to get into. It should be over here. There we go. And we need to... Oh, yeah, we do need to... Oh, well, I don't think you have to. You can mantle up here, but I'm going to use a rope to get up here. Just want to make sure that it didn't get spotted here. I think there are 4 or 5 of those invisible. They're tree beasts, actually, but they are invisible, so they're... I call them shadow beasts, but we did not get spotted there. So then we can head into the actual crater, which we have done now. Now we have to find the ruins from here. This is very bright, but it pulsates on and off. Now there is actually a piece of loot in here that is much smarter if we take now before we actually head into the ruins. In here. Took a little bit before I found this tunnel. I found all the loot except for this item here on my first playthrough. Here you go. This is a gem worth, or some kind of ancient diamond. And some ruins worth 100. Slide down here, you can see that this is sort of an ancient temple. Difficult because of all the white smoke. But here we can go inside. And here you can see a hand symbol in the ceiling. This is extremely bright in here. Maybe I should... Oh, it should be good. We're going to use the hand symbol. Hand of the Ancient, rather, on that symbol. Okay, and then we get into the actual ruins, or the museum. So now we have a new map, or no, we should have, no we don't. Okay, so this is then one of the exhibits. All the exhibits sort of light up with a painting, and once you frob that, something will happen. In most cases, you'll get teleported to the actual exhibit location, which is outside of this room here, and different things will happen depending on what exhibit you're on. Let's frob this and listen.
Welcome, traveller, to the Museum of the Ancients. Established roughly 7,000 years ago by Frobber, the Grand Architect of the Ancients, this museum was built to preserve the studied culture while we lived here. The museum remains as our legacy to others that may reach here someday, like yourself.
Alright, so every time you click on an exhibit, you'll get that woman sort of as the host or the narrator, or the caretaker, I think. She's called, explaining something about the museum or about the exhibit that you're about to enter. So now we actually located the ruins. Now we have a lot of new objectives. Steal the Soulstone Gem of Mithra, Gem of Zazarius, Gem of Alphadius, Gem of Quagnali, make off with the crown jewels, acquire the remains of the first builder, and climb out of the crater when done. I think we had that one, but this is important. Try not to miss anything by visiting each exhibit. I really, really wish that this objective here was optional. It's kind of weird that it isn't optional. It is at an expert difficulty, but that means that we have to visit every single place in the whole museum. So now we have a new map. So this is the layout of the museum. It's a maze, and the entire museum is exactly the same in terms of color and sound, and there's nothing that identifies each location except for the actual paintings or portraits that you're entering the exhibits through. Now we do have a very detailed map though, and we start actually up here in exhibit number 30, which is the welcome area. So that we have listened to now. So for us visiting each exhibit, it means we have to actually frob each of these 30 paintings. That's what it means. And it's divided sort of into 3 areas. Here, on the east side, are all of the normal exhibits. Okay? So they're not called that, but the exhibits in this area here in the northwest are called the dangerous exhibits, and these in the southwest are called the evil exhibits. So that's why I'm referring to these as normal here. So we're going to move around a little bit. Now, we have some extra things in our inventory right now. We have a black mystic stone, a blue one. We have a green one, an orange, a purple, a red, a white, a yellow, and that's it. Now, each portrait that takes you to an actual different location has to be unlocked with a certain colored orb or stone. Now, you have one of each color right now, and if you use a color, there are maybe other doors that need the same colored key, and you consume each of those stones as you use them. So then you have to find a second copy of that color if you want to go into the other exhibit, and we have to because we have to visit all of them. Now there is a location, I believe it is number 24 right here, that is called the power cells. That's where you can obtain more colored stones. You can do that, or you can do something that's a little bit of a secret to find a clear stone. And the clear stone is unique because it can open any of the exhibits. That will actually lead to a couple of extra little supreme busts for us, so it's not necessary to do that, but for sake of making this playthrough a viewer-friendly experience, I'm going to get that clear stone. Otherwise, I would have to go back to that location multiple times, probably 4 or 5 times, and that would be extremely tedious. So if you want to be very, very supreme, you should do that. I'm not going to do that because this mission isn't even regular ghostable. But I will point out which busts you don't need to take for supreme and which ones you do. Now we are going to head to the 2 doors here on the side opened when you listen to that first exhibit. So we're going to head in here.
Better check my map.
Yeah, this is the exit right here, so we're not going to do that right now. But this one we're going to listen to.
Greetings, Ancient One. I am the Caretaker. I am all that is left of my living Ancient Ones, a soul sealed in stone with the memories of my builder. Feel free to look around and examine any of the exhibits. Remember that each exhibit needs to be powered by an orb of a particular frequency.
So yeah, the frequency is then a color frequency, sort of a wavelength frequency. So this is the Caretaker, a fairly hideous picture, if I must say so. So now we're going to head actually straight down to number 24. And it's a little bit annoying because the floor is sort of elevated in areas. So I need to make sure that I know where I'm going here. Let's see, I think that's where I'm going. Yeah, I got it now. I've gone through these mazes so many times that I think I know where I'm going. So when you get to this area, you can go either way. So we're now here, and you can go up or down. So here we have it.
We, the Ancient Ones, use spheres of energy to power our devices. Each device did not always have the same frequency requirements, so different colors were used to express this difference. The colors range from red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, white, and black. At the end of our existence, we developed a clear orb which could power any device. However, only one was managed to be created.
So that clear orb that she mentioned there is the one that we want because we don't have to return here. So in this location, the clear orb is actually inside here. It's in that little fire in there. Now if you use an orb, then a new one of that particular color will spawn in these different alcoves here. There are 8 different colors, so there are 8 different areas where those can spawn. But I don't want to use any of those. I want to only use the clear one for my playthrough. Because then I have to go back and get them, because these existing here or appearing here means that somebody has used one, so that's sort of a sign of a thief's presence. Now back here, you can see that there is sort of a very well hidden button. It looks like it's actually a keyhole, but it's difficult to know that. Now each exhibit has one of these spinning smoke clouds. If you walk into that, you teleport back to the museum. Now here you can see there's an opening or a panel of some sort. And up here, in this area here, there's actually an invisible key. So that we're going to take to get the clear orb. Now that is a light source. See that? So that is a bust to remove for Supreme. And this is not something I would have done if the mission had been Supremeable. And that key you use here. That opens this panel. Okay, and I don't think you can lock that again. Let me check it. I don't think so. I think I tried that. No, now it's... Yeah. So what I'm going to do, though, is I am going to return that key up here. So at least I've done that. But I can't close this panel then. So we're going to head down here. And we need to swim then to the orb. And we can get the orb like that. There we go. Clear Mystic Stone. And then we need to swim back. That's really all we need from this room. Oh yeah. So getting this Mystic Stone here is not an unnecessary pickup, because if you don't get it, you have to get all the other extra colored stones instead. So this is actually a better, more supreme way of doing it. But removing a light source there, even though you can return it, is, strictly speaking, a supreme bust. So now we get teleported back here. Okay, now we're going to head to Exhibit 29, which is the Thor exhibit. What's a little bit strange is that some of these show that you've been there, but some don't. So that is something that I really wish had been executed better, because when one of them checks off, the first time you played, you think that all of them will, but some of them, like the welcome one, for example, has not. And not all of them will. It's only those that have like large areas that you can move into that actually has that tracks your progress. Let's see, we need to head down. Yeah, it's just down here. So this is the Thor exhibit, and its frequency red. But we're not going to need that. You can unlock it here. And there you have Thor, I guess, and you have to use it then to actually get credit for it. You can't just unlock it.
Thor, the deity of innovation and thunder, is rumored to teach fire-building skills to the native population, and through innovation they have formed a crude society with little established trade. However, most of the worshippers of Thor have been destroyed or enslaved by followers of Kazarili, Asmodeus, and the Dark One to exploit their knowledge for power.
Okay, so in here there's nothing of value to us. There are a lot of useless items, like regulating rounds and acidic mixture, stuff like that. But there is a flash mine, a gas mine, a mine, and a scouting orb. None of which we need, so we're just going to go back out. We want to go in here to get the credit for it. Okay. Now we're going to head to number 25, which is just east of here. So that would be that direction. Let's see. Rainbow Rose. There.
The rainbow rose was an amazing flower that only grew in a remote sinkhole, undiscovered. Unfortunately, with the arrival of industry and the mechanists, toxins and pollutants began to contaminate the groundwater, which eventually reached the still undiscovered sinkhole. The flower has faded from existence.
Alright, so this exhibit here, we can't really do anything in for Ghost. So we just want to leave, but I want to show you what's going on in here. It's very dark. I don't remember it being that dark. Maybe I'll try to... I usually have it one higher than that, I think. So that actually was a little bit better. So before you drop down here, you got to make sure that you use a rope arrow into this wooden pole, or maybe actually into that green patch of moss there, in order to get back up. We're going to drop in here and see what's going on. There we go. So there's this little flooded cave, but over here you have a pool with more of those fish you might remember from Mission 1. Piranhas. There's also a crayman, a blue crayman over there. Now, there is actually 1,000 worth of loot that you can get in this cave. But I have not found a way to get into the water, because you have to go over to that little pot on the island there in order to get this loot. You can't actually get it now. You have to get an ancient bucket, fill it with water, and then bring it over and actually water the soil in that pot. If you do that, then you get a hidden objective, because you obtain a rainbow rose. See, as soon as you go in the water here, you get spotted by multiple fish and a crayman as well. And they will have a good chance of killing you if you're not too fast. So here, you can use water, and when you do that, I think 4 more such paths appear around. So you have to go back and get more water, and a total of 5 times you have to go back here and water these plants. And for each of those additional soil pads you water, you get 250 loot. So if you want the bonus objective and you want all the loot, you have to go back here 5 times. But that 1,000 we have to skip. But at least we visited that exhibit now. I'll show you where to get the water and where to get that bucket. Some 2 different exhibits. Okay, now we're gonna head down and do some of the ones down here. Let's go all the way down south first. We'll work our way around. This is the Sylvester.
Sylvester, the deity of plants, dwells in several planes but only in areas of vegetation. Other deities have weakened Sylvester by destroying forests or poisoning the elements. As a response to the destruction of forests, Sylvester created 3 nymphs to protect the plants: Galatia, Ariel, and Victoria.
Okay, so this is the only exhibit, to my knowledge at least, where there are no enemies, nothing that can kill you, but there's actually nothing to pick up either. You just have to visit this. I haven't found anything to pick up. Is there something in the tree? I was imagining maybe a moss arrow or two or a fruit or something like that. But I haven't found anything, so... Yep. We'll just go back out. There are not many of those kinds of exhibits, but this is one. Okay. Then we are going to head west. Yeah. This is the exhibit called Gold. So that's a harmless one.
Gold is one of the most valuable resources to all of the tribes and forthcoming cultures. It is used in trading and artwork. This substance possessed a tradable value.
So here we can get 4 piles of gold. Total of 1,100. We're going to head up to number 16 here. Gem of Zazarius. Frequency blue, well.
The Gem of Zazarius is one of 5 unique treasures. It is the life force of an entity called Zazarius, the keeper of the Eastern Door. It glows with a spectral light that can penetrate the living and the spirit.
So this is a harmless one, but here we get one of our 4 gems that we have to pick up. So that's Gem of Zazarius. Any of those you can drop, and all of those gems can then spot shadow beasts, or can illuminate them. So that was an objective. Alright. Now we're going to head back down to 23. Oh, did I go too far? Yes, I did. I didn't turn around. This is Exhibit Ove.
Ove, the energy force of life, penetrates all realms but is focused within this material plane. This deity is most powerful in areas of dense population of life, and is a common deity in many rainforest peoples. It is said to be the hand behind healers and physicians.
Okay, so in here there are 3, I think, healing potions. They're spread around some of the seats here. Nothing else though. Okay. Let's see. We're not going to go to 10 yet. That is the first temple. That's one of the last ones we're going to do, because that's difficult. So I'm not sure why that is in the normal exhibits area. We're going to head up to 14 right now. Let's see. Okay, I didn't need to go there, but... If you haven't played this mission, I'm sure that me going through this maze-like museum is not very easy to follow. This is Gem of Mithra, so that's another one we're going to need to take.
The Gem of Mithra is one of 5 unique treasures. It is the life force of the entity Mithra, the guardian of the Western Gateway. It glows with a spectral light that can penetrate the living and the spirit.
Okay. So then we take the Gem of Mithra. Now we're going to head to 11, which is just north of us. Fountain of Lemneth.
Lord ago, before the rise of the Balthonians, and after the fall of the first builders, another civilization flourished. The Syrinxians built on the knowledge base that was inherited from their ancestor Olmecs. However, Syrinxians eliminated all foreign deities and started protecting valuable areas from the beasts within the forests. One such place is the Fountain of Lamneth, a naturally flowing spring. Legends claim that the waters contain a power that heals.
Okay, so this is where you would bring a bucket and fill it with water. You just leave it in there and it turns into a bucket filled with water. We have to actually climb these pillars here. That can be a little bit difficult actually in some areas. See if I can do it here. There we go. Run over here. And you can get a piece of loot here worth 100, total 1200. To get back down, I usually just drop straight into the water. And then we can head back out. Let's see. Now we're going to leave this area and we're going to head into the dangerous exhibits, which is on the west side.
Better check my map.
He says that with regular intervals here. So this just said dangerous exhibits. I didn't say that.
Warning, these exhibits have been closed due to their possible danger to visitors. Proceed with caution, traveler.
Okay. So, yeah, now we're entering this area. You're going to make a real save here, I think. There. Let's see. So we're going to go up to the two in the top here first. So... this is then Gazzarelli. This looks dangerous, but this is a harmless exhibit.
The warrior deity known as Gazzarelli gains power from conquest. Many of the strongest and most fierce warriors worshipped him. Wars have been waged in his name because he feeds on the suffering of the fallen. It is strongly believed that this deity is neither good nor evil, but aids worshippers with a strong arm and an iron fist. Okay,
so the only thing in here are these two floating boards. These are actually weapons that are used by some of the other people in some of the other exhibits. Ooh, can we get them from down here? We can. Okay, good. Alrighty. Those were worth 112 each. So 1424. And then we're going to head north. And now we're going to get into an exhibit where we're going to spend some time, actually. This is the Mines of Montserrat. So that is an area where we need to spend... it's a bigger area.
The Mines of Montserrat, one of the oldest mines still in production, is known for its many resources. The upper levels have iron ore and a large smelting operation currently being operated by an organization known as the Mechanists. The newest and deepest levels have uncovered a rich supply of silver ore. These lower levels were originally dug by the Olmec culture that flourished in the area thousands of years before. Currently, the walled city of Aragarneth sits upon the ruins of the first known stone construction, the first temple.
Okay, so you can hear that there's some robots here. The robots are not difficult to dodge because they have long patrol routes. But now we have a new map. The Mines of Montserrat, 6 levels below the surface. So we actually start in this room right here. Quite a bit of this cave system is completely pointless, or not pointless, but it's empty. But robots have long patrol routes. In the security area here, there are even some cameras, and there are mechanists. But you're not supposed to be able to get into this area here. This is what takes you up to the upper levels. But I'll show you as far as I can get. Then there are some sealed off areas here. But there are a couple of pieces of loot. There's something that we need in the lower storage room. And then there are some loot items in these areas. So we're going to have to head south and then west for now.
Better check my map.
So yeah, this is where we need to go. I'm not sure if they come here. I think they... they will. Okay, do they come down here where I am or not? I'm not sure about that. They do, okay. I didn't actually know that. Then we have to wait for them to pass. I haven't really mapped all the patrol routes here. I think there are 4 or 5 of those big robots. There's also a stationary smaller one. There's another one coming. I might be largely running against the flow of traffic here, but it didn't happen last time I played. Too close to it. I think we're in the storage room area now. No, we need to go here. This is the storage room. Okay, here is a gold nugget. There's also 2 explosive charges. We are going to need both of those, actually. That's actually the reason why I didn't go to the first temple. Because you're going to need one to get in there. And there was some junk stuff here. This is the bucket. This is the ancient bucket that you will need if you want that rose objective. 2 drill bits, some mines, flash mines, and a healing potion, and then there was a gold nugget as well. 1824, that's what we should have now. Okay, then we're going to head up north. We're actually going to go up this way. I'm going to go this direction here. So here's a boarded up area. We need to get in behind there. We can't go through this area as far as I know. I don't think so anyway. not sure where things are coming from here, actually. Okay. That is where we came from, isn't it? Okay, I think I know. This is a security area. I'll show you that a little bit later. Okay. I think that they are across the wall. That's why I need to wait for them to come past me here. They can hear through walls pretty easily here. I think the other one is coming too. Okay, we need to get through here. Here we can get through fairly easily if you crouch, lean, and jump. There. Then you come through pretty solidly. That was actually smoother than I have done before. I've usually gotten flung over towards here. But you can go through here fairly straightforward if you know how. Crouch, lean right, and jump, and then let go of crouch, and you're good. Now we come into the area where we saw from the other side. So we've actually gone through here now. This area is not blocked. It's only here there that's boarded up and where we just penetrated. So that's where I showed you from the other side. So this is sort of a sealed off section. Yeah, there are some shadow beasts here. So I'm gonna have to sneak here fairly slowly. Go through here. There's a piece of loot. You can see that's where we're here in the first place. Gold nugget worth 100. This is a little ramp that leads down to an even lower level, and that's where you can see the staircase on the far west. There's nothing down here. It's just a dead end left and right immediately around the corners, but there are, I think, 3 or 4 of those shadow beasts down there. So if you go down, there's no light, you can't see them. It's actually quite freaky if you don't know what you're headed into. You can kill them, of course. You can just leave a couple of mines there or something like that, but we're not going to need to do that. So we have 1924, that's correct. And then there's one more piece of loot in this section. It's a silver nugget. Get back out, we can do a similar thing. Let's see. Yeah, I think that is, we're now here. I think that's over here. And now we are just above the shadow beasts, that's right. There we go. 1974, that's what we should have. They hear it once you start walking faster here. So now we can actually go back all the way. See, we can go. That's a stationary one. Give it a real save there, actually. Let me show you this security area here. So you can hardly even get in here without getting busted. 2 cameras, as you can see. Here's a mechanist. And then there are more iron beasts up there that are stationary. So we can probably get quite far with a speed potion. So let's try that, just to see what's up there.
I'm ready for the...
I didn't get very far there, but we can try again, can't we? I didn't get even that far. I've been able to get into... There's a safe up there, or a vault, rather. A huge vault that you can actually open and get into. Every single time I've gone now, I've gotten less and less. Let's try this a little bit. I think these things are fun. It's, I real saved it, so. I have been able to get in there. I'm not going to try it anymore, but the vault is empty. It's very short. It's not supposed to contain anything, but maybe there's actually another door on the back of it that you can't open, but you can open it, go in and close it, and I don't think they can open the vault, so you're sort of hiding in there, but yeah, I don't know how many iron beasts are up there at all, but we are instead now going to head... Yeah, we can actually head this way. No. Come on. See, now we are right here, so we need to go a little bit southwest and then in again. There we go. Then we're done in this area. And I've got the explosive charges, which I need. We're going to head down to 13. Gem of
The
Alphadius.
gem of Alphadius is one of 5 unique treasures. It contains the life force of Alphadius, an entity known as the protector of the southwest portal. Its spectral light penetrates the bodies and the disembodied.
Alright. Let's take that gem. Teleport out. Now we have all but one of the gems that we need. We're gonna head down to 26, which is southwest. The Royal Tomb.
The royal tomb of Isamna was looted before the museum archivist could fabricate the relics. Only a few original art pieces remain as the focus of this exhibit.
Okay, so this is the Royal Tomb. This is difficult because there is back here. You can see there's a floating eye. It's the same texture as the eyes that we summoned, I think, in Mission 2. And I think these are called Eye of the Beholders. That's from a video game series that I haven't played, a role-playing series, I think. But I think this guy is facing north, but they can see you immediately. See? Actually, he's facing south. And the exit is on the south side of this central column here. So we have a problem. We can take some pieces of loot here. We can take this one. But you see that we cannot take this. Let's try. Can we actually... No, I tried that. If you put out the torches here, it sees you in perfect darkness. So you have to skip quite a bit of loot here. We can take this guy. And all of these are loot as well. Some hammers, chisels, mask, another hammer. And this we're going to need. This we need in the first temple. An ancient amulet. Necklace, necklace, spider, and I think that's all we can take for now. So in total there is going to be 3 golden masks worth 175, a gold spider worth 150, 2 artifacts worth 100 total, and then a ruby that you can see over there worth 100. That we cannot take. There's also a little trickster statue. I have found a way to actually leave this area without taking a ghost bust. That's what we need one of the speed potions for. Because if we stand here and we use a speed potion and run straight into the portal, and also lean forward and take the statue on our way, we should be able to do that without getting at least not a second alert from the Guardian there. Let's make a real save. I've been able to do that several times, so we will do that now. Oh, it's at the very end. Okay. Okay.
The royal tomb of Isamna was looted before...
So you see, he had not moved at all there. So he gives a first alert, I think. I'm pretty sure of that. But we are not there long enough for him to actually see us and move. Save it there.
The royal tomb of Isamna was looted before the museum archive.
Yeah, so I think that was a settling remark, what he gave just there. So that means that he first alerted, but he did not second alert. So we're good there. But you do need to use a speed potion, and that is obviously a supreme bust, and take the first alert, which is also a supreme bust. Then we're going to head to 27. Let's see. Right here, which is silver. So that's similar to gold. And no enemies.
Silver is one of the valued resources to all of the tribes in forthcoming cultures. It is commonly used in trading and artwork, however, it possesses a lower value than gold. Silver is also used against evil spirits and to make holy artifacts to combat the demonically unclean.
Okay, we took 6 piles of silver, total 37.59. And then we're going to head down to the evil section in the south. Number 5 we're going to wait a little bit with. Let's see.
Warning, these exhibits have been closed due to the destructive powers contained within. Proceed only if you feel necessary.
I do feel it's necessary. So we're going to head to Exhibit 18 first. That was one that I long thought would be a very hard bust, but there is a way to get around it. Exhibit Izu. So we're going to meet another one of those Eye of the Beholders as soon as we enter this. There's nothing to pick up, but you have to visit this. So what we're going to do is we're going to enter and then run directly to the middle area, which has the teleporter to come back out. We should be able to do that with only a first alert from him. Let's see. I'm going to make a real save right there. Let's see.
Izu is one of the most unusual of all of the known deities. He is known as the deity of evil magic.
Let's see. Were we able to do that?
Izu is one of the most unusual.
We can get
Izu is one of the most unusual
there.
of all of the known deities.
Definitely
He is known as the deity
got it
of
there.
evil.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think we even maybe got it without a first alert.
Izu is one of the most unusual of all of them.
But I can't guarantee that. So I'm going to do it again just so you guys can hear the spiel.
Izu is one of the most unusual of all of the known deities. He is known as the deity of evil magic. Many mages filled with greed and seeking power are led to Izu's feet. Because Izu worship is relatively new with regards to time, some people believe that at one time, Izu was a mortal being who became powerful enough to sit with the other deities of the pantheon.
Okay. So I think we definitely were able to not get a first alert. No, not get a ghost bust there, but whether it was a first alert or not, I don't 100% sure, but anyway. Okay, we're going to go to this exhibit next. That is Bane. I don't think there's anything in there.
Bane, the Keep of Death, is the collector of souls.
Yeah.
His spirit dwells in the netherworld of lost souls. Those who die journey to Bane, and he determines where within the realm the dead will spend eternities, until it is again judged. All iconography of Bane depicts a bloated, rotting man.
Yeah, there's nothing in here except for skulls. I don't think they can detect you or anything, so let's just go back here. Alright, so now we did 18 and 2. Now we're going to head over to number 1. It should be Asmodo.
Asmodeus, the Lord of Fire and Chaos, is the incarnation of chaotic thought and cruelty. He dwells deep within ground in regions known as Hellfire, where iron and stone flow in molten rivers of death. His word is law in his domain, and legends talk of deals made with people above, where power is exchanged for life force.
So I'm not sure if you could hear what was being said there by the narrator, because there are two trickster AI mini tricksters. One here.
I could be conquering the world, but no, I'm always sitting here. I don't like sitting
And
here.
then there's one more right there. So they are facing south.
Oh, that was very funny. Ho 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 ho.
See if we can actually get into the teleporter. There's also 5 fire arrows in here if you need that. But we just need to leave without getting caught.
I want to.
I think maybe that was
What was that funny? Conquering the world, but no, very delicious. Here. I don't like sitting here.
Asmodeus, the Lord of Fire and Chaos, is the incarnation of chaotic thought.
I don't know if that was the first
Conquering the world, but no, I don't like sitting here. No, I don't like sitting here.
Yeah, there. Now we definitely did not get an alert there. Perfect. Alright, then we're going to head down to 3, which is just to the west of us. That's black silver, so that we can just take the loot in there.
Black silver is an extremely rare substance. The Mines of Margroth is the only black silver mine known to exist, and we have even used it to help build this museum. While valued only to collectors, this metal can be used for making jet black weapons that aid in ambush and surprise. Legends also tell about black silver being used to fabricate evil artifacts of great power, but we have never found such objects.
Okay, then we're going to go to 22. Museum Demise. That sounds very ominous. So here we actually can't go in there, but let's hear what's happening.
Unfortunately, nothing, not even this museum, lasts forever. Long ago, when we ourselves were nothing but bits of dust, a celestial body fell from the sky and impacted near this museum. This orb, known as the Tsar, is only a seed of the most destructive life force in all that we know of. These orbs have destroyed many worlds we have studied, even our home world. And now, it has come to this world.
So something has happened here. Let's look at our objectives. So now we have an objective of find a way to stop the alien orb. And we will also get one of destroying the book. We still don't have that one. But we got one new objective. There's something that's been released now and we need to destroy it, basically. Okay, let's go to number 7 here next. Let's see, over here. Dark one. So this one can be difficult. I'm going to make a real save right here because we might have... If you guys hear some noise in the background, there's just... hopefully that isn't too distracting.
The entity known only as the Dark One is the Lord of Shadow and Fear. He resides in the darkest of shadows. The only deity artifact in known existence comes from the Dark One. The Book of Darkness gives the Dark One a foothold in this world.
So now we're in the Dark One. Sometimes when you spawn in here, you make a clang when you land, and there is a shadow monster over there. And I believe he is facing south or west, this direction. But it's definitely towards the south, because if you move closer to him, it doesn't matter how slow you are, he will see you. Or maybe he just notices anything in the room, I'm not 100% sure there. There's 4 black nuggets in here. We can take the 3 closest ones, but we cannot take the one over by its feet. You can see the black smoke is at its head. So we're going to go over here and grab these loot items first. Should be able to do that without any first alerts. But I've never been able to get over to the other one there. Never. So that is worth 75, this one up here. So that's actually, we've now skipped 1600. And we only have 1707 possible to skip before we don't reach a loot goal. So we only have 107 more to skip. So now it's us. Don't want to get that first alert there. See if we can avoid it, maybe? No. Okay. Hopefully it's not waking up there because of that. Let's see. Okay, so
The entity known only as the Dark One is the Lord of Shadow and Fear. The entity known only...
see that now we got a clang there.
The entity known only... The entity known only as the Dark One is the Lord of Shadow and Fear. He resides in the darkest of shadows.
So it has not woken up. So maybe we got a first alert. I'm not sure. I kind of don't think we did there. Or did we? Yeah, but it wasn't more than a first alert anyway. Okay. So then we need to head down to 19. Which is Kali.
Kali, the Bloodied Mother, is known as both the creator and the destructor. She is one of the earliest known of the deities and one of the first abandoned. Her worship seems to appear at times of civil disruption or revolt. Even as this museum was being built, many temples were converted into dens of Kali, while the creatures knew nothing of our existence.
So there's a servant woman here with a guard voice. She's apparently then Kali, and she faces south and will only trigger if she sees us, but we can slowly go towards the portal and avoid that. There's nothing else to pick up in this area. There we go. Then we're going to head to 15, which is on the east. I think that's pretty much everything down here, isn't it? In the evil area. I don't really think that this area is that much more evil than the other ones.
The Gem of Quagnali is one of 5 unique treasures. It contains the life force of Quagnali, an entity known as the Watcher of Southeast Corridor. Its spectral light penetrates the bodies and the disembodied.
So now we have all those soul stones taken. Now we're going to head to number 5. That's the Crown Jewels. This one? Yeah. Okay, we can't get caught right away here, but if we're lucky with the patrols, we might not. Let's make it real safe.
The most exotic of all of the study cultures, the Balthonians, ruled the southern realms for thousands of years until a revolt. The upper class retained all of the wealth, while the lower class starved in poverty. The Emperor of the Palphonians, being the wealthiest of all, commissioned a series of golden objects encrusted with jewels to be made in his honor and kept in a secure location where he could display them proudly and safely.
Go up here. So this is then the central area where you have the crown jewels. They're actually inside behind these gates here. In there, you cannot go through there in any way. I tried very, very much, because at the very top here, you can maybe see there's a little bit of a hole there. You can get up if you stack some items, sorry. And then you get up there with the rope arrow, and you can try to get into the hole.
I saw something.
But there's not enough. There's not enough
Must have been rats.
opening between the roof and where you're standing. Now, the way we can get in there is you have to use an explosive charge. There's no other way for you to get through those gates. There's no key. It doesn't even frob like normal. And there's no way to close it afterwards. If there was a way to get in there from above through those holes, then I would be able to do that. But I haven't been able to do that. There are a total of 9 patrolling archers with pickpockets, with arrows that you can take if you want to. And they all patrol in an outer area out here.
Something's over there.
Sort of an encircling area around the entire central region. With some other guards too, but we don't need that. We need to place an explosive charge here and get this door open. We don't need to make that clang there. Now, we can't use a fire arrow. Because then we will get caught. We will use a flare. That's what we bought the flares for. So nobody actually hears that except for...
Come back here.
Well, I think somebody actually heard me getting caught there. I think I'm going to move through here. There, let's see if we can do this a little better from this side. I think this was the side I did it from last time. If you use a flare, if you use it from this side, so they see you when you light up. Let's see. No, I didn't even hit it.
Anyone there?
So they hear the little puffs from the explosive charge land afterwards. But whenever you use a normal explosive charge with the fire arrow, they don't actually alert to the explosion. They alert to the fire arrow hitting the explosive charge. So this is of course property damage. Blowing open a door like that is property damage, but it's not. It's not busting Ghost for any other reason than that. I think that's it, 6584. That's how much we should have at this point. And we completed the objective of making off with the crown jewels. Now we just got to go to the exit. We cannot close this door, like I said. There. Let's see. Sorry, there's sounds from the other room next to me, if you can hear that. Sorry about that. see. We just moved from a house into an apartment, so the layout of the house is a little bit different, or the rooms are different, so I can't really avoid noise. Okay, we need to avoid any more alerts from these guys. So they're settling now from that sound. There. Okay, now the only exhibit we haven't gone to in this area now is 20, which is Loch Nara. So we're going to have to take another bus there, I'm afraid. And I'll sort of round up all the busts at the end of the mission, of course. So blowing open that cage to the crown jewels, I think, is the first ghost bust we have. I believe. There's Loch Nara right here. So this is going to be the second ghost bust. And there's nothing we can do about this. There are 2 pieces of loot that we need to get here. There are spiders that are going to see us immediately. 2 spiders, and we have to get one piece of loot, not 2.
Loch Nara, Queen of the Spiders, was a domain shattered by celestial battles long ago.
Let me show you one more time. Even if we
Loch Nara, Queen of the Spiders,
see, even if we
was
crouch
a domain shattered by celestial battles long ago.
in darkness here, they will see us. There's nothing you can do about this.
Loch Nara, Queen of the Spiders, was a domain shattered by celestial.
What is this?
Loch Nara, Queen of the Spiders, was a domain shattered by celestial battles long ago. It lies scattered about like threads of a broken web. Strong-willed and deceptive, her followers tend to keep hidden and attack only by ambush or by poison. Although treacherous, she can at times be reasoned with for something in return.
So that last statement there, she can be reasoned with for something in return. That I checked on the forums, and somebody commented that that refers to in the Guilded Rivalry, when you release her or free her, the spiders will not be enemies of you. They won't attack you. I wish that really applied to this mission too, because then we wouldn't take a bust here, but anyway. So the only 2 exhibits that we haven't gone to now is 10, which is the first temple, and it is 9, which is the exit. All the other ones we've been to as far as I know, and you can see here that not all of them actually turn blue.
Better check mine.
Oh, let's see, I went a little bit too fast there. Let's see. See, there's Thor here. Where's Thor? 29. Yeah, okay, we need to go a little bit further over here. There. Where are we now? I'm lost right now. I have no clue where I am. Is this 28? Oh, then I'm okay. Yeah. There we go. Here's the first temple. Okay. Let's see, here we're going to get the rest of the loot. Or now we got find a way to destroy the book. I don't think we had that earlier. But in this exhibit we're going to get the first builder remains, and we're going to get to 7,500.
The mighty Olmec culture, known as the First Builders, were the first advanced culture to arise from the wilds. Under the instruction of their leader Izamna, they conquered the forest and dug into the earth. The very first structure was built in honor of Izamna. Many others were built, but not nearly as large as the Step Pyramid. After the death of their leader, the Olmecs reformed their religious structure to include Izamna as a deity.
Okay. So let's see here. Some head statues, Easter Islands. This guy is a stationary archer. He has arrows. It's also 15. They're actually obsidian arrows. I think they're more powerful than regular broadheads. If anyone wants to enlighten me, here's 15 more of those arrows. And there's a patrolling woman, sort of a chief woman. And here you have the temple. There are 4 levels with enemies. Some of them are running already, and some of them are walking. If they're running, if they get first alerted, they will stop running and just start walking. There's the chief woman up there. She has a piece of loot that I want. Okay, let me go back here and see if I can get to her a little bit quicker. There are some pickpockets we're going to take, because some of them carry loot. Here we are dark. But that woman has sort of a plate on her chest. Piece of jewelry worth 125 that we need. But there are 4 of these patrollers that go around the temple that also have obsidian arrows. There. That was 125. Total 68.59. See, I'm going to go this direction here. Because then we should be able to get to... Scarecrow. Okay, you know what? I'm probably actually going to go back because I want them to come to me instead of me chasing them. This guy has a spear that we can take, that's valuable. I think maybe there's one more on this level that has a spear. Here's one of the archers. No, there's only one loot item on this level. You don't want to mantle up to the light.
I died.
He's so close. Okay. There are 4 of those spears in total. I think there's one more on this level, and then there's a guy on the level right above us here. then there should be one. I think I saw one on this level below. Yeah, it's coming right there. Okay. $69.99. That is good. Here? Oh yeah, that gem up there is a light source. I believe it is anyway. Yeah, it is. You see that? So that's the Supreme bust to take. But I'm going to take that, because removing a light source isn't that big of a bust, I think. That was worth 200, total $71.99. Okay, now I'm going to show you something else too. Took that piece of loot. We got a couple of first alerts there. Maybe two. And we got a first alert from that guy, because he wouldn't be walking if we didn't get a first alert there. That's the biggest gap, is between those lasts. That trio there. There, he saw us there, okay. Maybe I'll take, I wasn't planning on taking this piece of loot, but maybe I will now that these are patrolling so conveniently. No, I won't. We'll get multiple more first alerts from humans, so we won't do that. But that staff in there is worth 100. We don't need to take it to reach the loot goal. We will end up 7 above the loot goal. So I want to avoid those extra supreme busts there. Now a pretty big puzzle here that I don't know how you're supposed to figure out is where that gem was. You have to actually use force, like in a blackjack, sword, or an explosion, to open this. This is sort of a secret entrance. I don't know if there's any hint on how to do that anywhere in the mission. I have not found any. So I'm not sure how you're supposed to figure that out, but you can if you try everything. So we're going to use the same method to open that as we did to open the gate to the crown jewels. We don't want to get that first alert there. There. Stand like that. We should be able to do that. So now they sort of trigger to each other, I think. I'm gonna wait for those 3 to run by. definitely do this without getting only this guy first alerted, I think. Maybe one of the guys below. Yeah, he even second alerted. Okay, we can't have that. Can't have any second alerts. Gotta do this until we avoid that. Oh, he got hurt. Yeah. I think that should have done it. Yeah. Nobody alerted there because he was that far away from those guys. He was on the opposite side. Okay, good. We got some first alerts there. But that opened the entrance. But it wasn't a ghost bust other than property damage, and that's kind of what I wanted to avoid. So we've been spotted by the spiders, and we've gotten 2 property damage busts. So that's the 3 busts that we need. So we haven't busted from being seen or heard by any humans for Ghost. And that's kind of a big deal for me to avoid that. Okay, now we come into a difficult room here. I'll explain in just a second. Let's make a real save. So, this room here was actually the most fun one to figure out how to do without busting Ghost, because it ended up being very difficult, but it had some nifty new moves actually that I haven't really explored too much before. This is where we can find the rest of the loot that lead us to the loot goal, and we can find the corpse of the first builder. They're both on the other side of this elevated raised area in the middle, and this is traps. You can see tons of openings that shoots arrows on the sides, and unlike normal pressure plates, these trigger the instant you touch them, or when you touch them there's a slight delay, but even if you jump off of it quickly, it will still fire. The problem is that not only are triggering traps a Buster Supreme, but multiple of the patrollers that you can hear outside will alert to this and will bust Ghost. We have not busted Ghost to human enemies yet. We've only done property damage, and we have been busted by spiders. So I want to eliminate a 4th Ghost bust here, and it is possible to do this. The problem is that you cannot, even with using a speed potion, you cannot jump over this. I'll show you. And now you hear them alerting on the outside. You will hit the last plate there. There's no way to avoid that, and you cannot build up like a bunny hop in Thief 2 like you can in Thief 1. Then that would be possible. They don't hear the actual landing, they hear the arrows hitting the walls. So there is a way to avoid this, because we have both a speed potion and we have a couple of slow fall potions here. Slow fall potions actually make you jump higher than you normally would, because they decrease the gravitational pull. But you also go slower because of it. So they will actually cancel the effect of the speed potion. So what we have to do here, we have to use a speed potion, and then right as we're about to jump, we have to use a slow fall potion. So then we can maintain the speed of the speed potion, but also get the elevation of the slow fall potion. Then we have to use the amulets on a plate in the floor at the end there, and take the corpse of the first builder, which will be revealed behind the panel in the wall. You can take that corpse through the wall, but that is usually looked at as an engine exploitation and only a last resort, so we can't do that since we have the amulet available. And we also have to take the 4 pieces of loot back there, and then we have to jump back. Now we only have 1 speed potion available, so we have to do this before that speed potion wears off. Luckily, the slow fall potion wears off quickly. And I say luckily because that means we will have the speed still of the speed potion and can use the second slow fall potion to jump back. Now I want to try to do this all in one move, because I feel it's a little bit cheating to sort of save in between. So this might take a few tries for me to do. But I want to get back to this side, and I've taken the loot and the corpse, and not get any of those traps to trigger. So now I've explained it, now I'm going to do it. So let's see if we can do it. Okay. So I did it there, I just did not jump quick enough. But there you see the move. There's a lot of moves involved here. Okay, I was a little bit too slow there. That's fine. I don't know why I can't take that last piece. Close. Let's see. Let me see, how much do I need to... So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there's 4 there. There, we got it. No, we did not. We did not take all the loot. Did we? I think we did. Yes, 7507. We got it all. It looked like there was something left there, but nope. Awesome. Then I'm going to save. So we used 2 slow fall potions and a speed potion to do that. So that would be a chemical success, but it's not even a successful run for Ghost. But we managed to avoid getting caught by these humans on the outside. So that's a pretty cool move to be able to do, I think. I'm happy that I was able to figure it out. But I don't think any of the 3 busts that I've taken so far are possible to avoid. I would very much like it if you guys do know of ways to circumvent them and tell me. So then basically all we have to do here is leave. this side over here. It's behind this pillar, actually. Yeah, it's back here. Nice. Okay. There we go. So now we have to just go back to the exit, and that should be the last exhibit. And we're not done with the problems just yet. I think it's up here.
We hope you enjoyed your visit to our museum. Please watch your step and have a nice day.
So that ended the objective, try not to miss anything. So we visited all the exhibits. We have to stop the alien orb, and that we do by destroying the book. So these two will be checked off in the same case. Now we're back in this cave, and there is actually a couple of more shadow beasts that have spawned now. One of them should be right up here. So we want to make sure that we... There we go. You can see them. I'm not sure if you can, but you can see maybe them. The smoke coming out of its head there. This is gravel, but this area up here is actually stone. So the way I've found to get around this guy without taking any busts, this is the exit tunnel right here, and here he is. I'm not sure what direction it's facing, but if we go up, it heard that, you see. If we go up here, and if we go along the edge here, we can actually drop down to the tunnel. Which is right here. We can drop down without getting spotted. There. Perfect. Excellent. Okay. Now out here, there's a few more of those shadow beasts that have spawned, I think, but they're still all walking in the same direction. Now those pillars that block an entrance have disappeared now. I'd heard that. So we can actually go into that opening now. Come on. Should be able to at least. You can just head in sort of a counterclockwise direction, and we should be able to find that opening on the left side soon. There they are, all of them, you can see. There we go. Okay, so down here, we have the center of the crater. This is where we can actually destroy the book. Go all the way down there, we can do that. Now I assumed that first time I played it, when I destroyed the book, that the shadow beasts would disappear, but they don't. It's loud down here. got to throw the book into the orb that you see on the little elevated area. You got to sort of point it upwards. That was not. If you throw it in wrong, you can't get it back. So might still be. Still not far enough. There we go. If you stand exposed, then you will get hurt by the explosion or whatever it is. So then you can see that we checked off both book destruction and stopping the orb. Now all we have to do is climb out of the crater. So I do enjoy this mission. I don't like the layout of the museum. I think that's very tedious. It could have been broken up and made a lot less tedious by some color changing and some audible changes between the different sections, stuff like that. And I don't like the little elevations on the floor in the museum because it just hampers the movement so much. So, and if you don't find that clear mystic orb, you're going to have to go back and forth a lot in the museum. So the design is just not very smart, I think. Let's see, we're going to go back up in a certain area now. All clustered together right now. That always happens. I think we're going to go to the south side to climb up. I think it's up there. So I read Gilaire's ghost report on this, and he said that he found several shadow beasts stationary out here after the extra one's trigger. I've never found that. So he had to climb up here and do some elaborate maneuvers to evade them that I've never had to do. So I'm not sure what happened in his report there. Not sure. See, what way are we going here? To get out, I mean. Yeah, it's over here, I think. Is it? Yeah. So that's it for this campaign. I really enjoy the campaign, but the highlight for me is definitely Mission 1. Mines of Margroth remains for me probably in my top 10 missions of all time, or 10, 15 or so. Missions 2 and 4 are pretty good. They're very enjoyable to play. Mission 3 has its charm, but it becomes tedious very quickly. There's some tedious aspects to this mission as well. So I'd probably rank it in order. Mission 1 is the best, Mission 2 comes next, and then 4, and then 3. We should end the mission right now. There we go. So that was a failed ghost run of ashes to ashes. The 3 areas we busted ghost was we had to deal property damage to get into the crown jewels. We used an explosive charge there to blow up the gates. Can't close the gates there. We had to do a similar thing to enter the first temple. And that works like a door that you have to sort of blow open. But that also feels a little bit like a puzzle. So maybe that can be excused. I'm not sure. I'll count both of those as busts. And then we also had to, in the Loch-Nara exhibit, we had to alert 2 spiders to full-on alarm mode. They alert instantly, even if you're dark. There's no way to avoid that I know. And there's no invisibility potions available anywhere in the mission to stop that. Now, in addition to that, we took a lot of Supreme busts. Let's see if I can remember. Of course, all the purchases in the loadout screen, those are busts for Supreme. We also had to take probably some first alerts from the 2 Eye of Beholders in 2 different exhibits, and maybe also from the Shadow Beasts in the Dark One exhibit, I think. We also took first alerts when we actually set off the 2 explosive charges, because the little fireballs that land first alert the enemies. But if you use a flare there for both of those, which we did, you don't actually take any more busts than that. We also took the clear Mystic Orb, which technically is removing a light source when you take the invisible key. So that isn't necessary to do if you want to go back and forth and get the new orbs every time. There might have been a couple of more first alerts that I can't remember, but I don't think too many. Oh yeah, the gem on the back of the first temple that we took before we opened the secret entrance there, that's also a light source, so that was the first alert. No, sorry, that was a bust for Supreme. 1 hour, 10 minutes, 10 seconds. We took 7507 loot out of 9207. We skipped 1,000 in the Rose exhibit, or the Rainbow Rose exhibit. That you can't take for any ghost mode. We skipped 525 more in, what exhibit was that in? That's the one where we, in the Royal Tomb exhibit, because we get spotted by the Eye of the Beholder. And then we skipped 75 loot in the Dark One exhibit, because we wake up and alert that Shadow Beast there. That's 1,600 in total. And then we also skipped 100, which you can take for ghosts. So 7607 is the max for ghost. That was a staff at the top of the first temple. I just got too many first alerts from that, 2 or 3, to feel comfortable taking that for Supreme. And we hit the loot goal by passing 75 anyway. So we picked 5 out of 23 pockets. Those are all loot. They were all swords or spears in the first temple area, I think. We didn't pick any locks. We didn't have any backstabs or knockouts. No damage dealt taken or healing taken. Nothing and nobody killed. And no Iron Beast destroyed or disabled. There's no secrets in this mission. So the total campaign time is 8 hours, 40 minutes, 4 minutes and 25 seconds. By far the most of that is in Mission 1. We took 50,191, but that is 300 more than I would have taken. So 49,891, because remember the 300 from Mission 1, I didn't take in my actual run, but I had to use a different save game to go forward where I did take it. Total damage dealt is 887. A lot of that, of course, is from the Burricks in Mission 3. I'm not sure as to any other that we've dealt. We didn't kill Bantar in the first mission. And we circumvented that whole thing in Mission 2 as well. I don't think so. I think that's all from the Burricks. Now, there is a little outro here that I'm going to play and then end the video directly after. So let me know what you guys think of this campaign overall, how you rank the missions, what you think of this mission individually. The next mission will be Keeper of the Prophecies. There are 3 missions left to do, but 2 of them are extremely short. One of them is only a camera mission. So we'll do that in one video. So that'll be the next one. I'm not sure when I'll get to that. I do have less time and less opportunity now because we have moved temporarily into an apartment where there's just less room and less opportunity practically and logistically to make recordings. So, but I'll see you back in not too long, I think, with that one. So, thank you guys for watching. Have a good night. Let's watch the video and end the video.
Darkness will rise above and below. Curse the one within the shadow. Make him share my demise. Curse this man I despise. Drain his life as I die. With my final plea. Die, Guilded, die.
I don't feel so good. What's happening to me? Ah!